Okay. Hi, guys. How are you all coping with, I don't know. You have a lockdown. I have a lockdown. We have a lockdown. Everybody has a lockdown. Is Matthew here? Is Rap here? Rap, you got a brand new mic, yeah? Luxley, yeah, it was awesome. Thank you very, very much for your contribution to the 3rd anniversary of LCC. We love you all.
Devil, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you
Hello,
hear
hello.
me?
I can hear you.
Where is
You guys hear me
Euros?
too?
Yes, I can hear you, man.
Yes.
Where is Euros?
Awesome,
He always
perfect.
complains. He always complains like
Euros?
my voice is too low in YouTube.
No,
So I'm
it's
literally
me.
shouting.
That's yeah. No, it's also me. I mean, your voice was like underwater.
What about now?
Now it's cool. Now it's cool. Now it's like you're
Fuck.
sitting just beside me, and I'm scared that you hit me. But it's cool.
Hide your beer, man.
Yeah,
Where's
kinda.
Matt?
What's up,
Where's
Yuzi?
Matt?
I am
I don't
here.
know,
What's up, bro?
Matt, you
There he
here?
is.
All good, all good.
I didn't want to interrupt the beer talk.
Yeah, thank you. Because
You're welcome.
you know, for me, it's midnight. Yeah, and I started to take a sip at 8:30. So you know,
You know,
that's life.
I got to say that's one of the things I love about this. You know, we get like I'm just coming off a day of business. You're like heading into last call. You know, it's just a good
Yeah,
thing.
kind of. Yeah, exactly. If
Last call
I
for
walk,
alcohol.
no, if I
Exactly.
walk afterwards into VR, everybody's like, "Hey, dude, what happened to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's 1 a.m. and
Do they have last call in Europe?
I'm sure that
yes
applies to
and
everyone
no,
everywhere.
actually no, They- no.
Yeah,
You
I
just
don't
drink
think
till
they
you
did.
Our
pass out, pretty
last
much.
call, our last call is for a regular club. It's 4 a.m. and for
Yes.
the after hours, it's kind of 9 a.m. or something. So we got pretty much to
That,
do.
that's Americans. That's one of the problems here with America is we don't
Yeah,
trust ourselves enough.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
That's
just to
why
allow.
it makes sense.
That
Yeah.
was so funny when I was in LA and I went to Whiskey A Go Go to watching Bloodhound Gang, and they were like, it was 10 p.m. and they were like, okay, we're shutting down, and I was like, what? Now we're shutting down. And they, yeah, no, absolutely no. And I was, yeah, we're shutting down. And they were like, where you from? Europe. And they were like, okay, you have different closing times. And I have, what the fuck are you talking about? And
Yeah.
they were like, you know what? Dudes like you walk down to to the Viper room because yeah, that's more similar like you guys. And I went down. The first time I saw Viper room, and there was a door, and I knocked at the door, and there was a big guy, big dog guy, and I was like, "Hey, I want to eat," and he was like, "Where the fuck are you from?" And I said, "Europe." And he was like, "Okay, it's all good. Go to the next corner, go down the road, and yeah, there's the entry."
That is so funny. Americans get kind of embarrassed about, around Europeans a little bit. 'Cause it's like, we broke off from you guys. We've been on our own. You know, it's gotten a little weird sometimes over here, you know.
Damn, I've been in so different countries like Japan or something, and even Japan was like, "Where the fuck are you from?" Because after a while, they just realized I'm not from here, so
Yes.
they were
Hey
like,
Matt, it's just
Yes.
like the child runs away from the house, and he does
Yes.
everything on his own, and he's kind
Yes.
of doing better.
Yes. Exactly. Like we're doing well, but you're like, yeah, but I remember when you used to shit your pants. You know, like a child's still a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Eugene. That's not a proper introduction here. So Eugene,
It is.
welcome back.
It's actually
Eugene,
no,
does
I
it need
disagree.
any
No, no.
introduction?
Eugene is from New York. Is now located in New York City. Am I right?
Yes.
You damn right.
Yeah. So
100%.
I was at the tunnel, and I met this damn guy from a basketball club, and he was kind of two. I don't know inches, but he was meters like 220. It was like 3 heads above me, and I was like, I was talking to him, and he was like, I ain't listening because I'm too high.
Listen,
So,
that can sometimes be a problem, sure.
Sure.
yeah, it was so
Yeah,
it was so funny back then. But okay,
Well-
I am talking about not 2000. It was 1994, dude.
Oh
Man.
wow. Were you even
You
alive
talk about
then,
tunnel.
Eugene?
Yeah, yes,
The
I was.
tunnel.
Unfortunately or fortunately,
Even
Tunnel the Club.
he's
Yeah,
talking about
Tunnel
the
the club
time.
in 1994.
It's like
And they
1720 or something.
they checked the IDs from everybody. And I was with a friend of mine. He was only I think 20 or something, and he was like, I can get into the. And I was like, no, I can do it. I can do it. I can handle it. And we walked there, and the dude, and the door guy was like, no, sorry, sir, I am not allowed to check your ID because you're fucking too old. You know, I was like, what the fuck? I'm 24.
That's a horrible thing.
That's funny. You know, it's that's life.
Okay,
Right?
guys, back to you. Back to your story.
Yes. So Eugene, thank you for coming on,
Talk
man.
to me.
Um,
Of course.
yeah. So
Let me see. First and foremost, I'd like to say happy anniversary. I know Rab told me it was literally yesterday or a couple days ago,
Yeah.
if I'm correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's a
yesterday,
beautiful
yesterday.
thing. That's a
it
beautiful thing.
is.
3 years is a long time in the States.
Alive and kicking. Alive and kicking.
That's all that matters because a
Alive
lot of
and
companies went
kicking.
under. Sure. So I just want to
Well-
say I'm very happy that you guys got me on basically a day after the 3rd year anniversary. So I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thank you
That
very much.
was a coincidence.
It is a coincidence, but it's a hell of a coincidence.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
we'll take it.
Listen, I'll take it.
I am the devil. I tell the truth. I
The whole
show
truth
no
and nothing
other.
but, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
well, we know how
because the best lie is covered in the truth.
So let me ask you a question then. If you're the devil, who is the devil's advocate? Probably Matt.
Not you.
well, it's when we're arguing,
Definitely not me. So
Yeah, I don't
guess
know
you
if I
have
am
to
the
be.
devil's advocate. I'm the devil's
in this-
Gesprächspartner.
You're the devil's right-hand man.
Gesprächspartner. Nah, he's a nice guy. He's too nice. I will never see him again in my cozy, warm behave.
Very good. Well, if I need to put it all together, but I had lunch with Rab Tai last week. We were just
Sure.
chatting, and it sounds like you guys are talking a little bit about poker VR.
We're talking a lot about a lot of stuff actually. But let me put some closure real quick. I'm not going to talk more than 3 minutes about it. Just very, very fast closure. So
Yes.
the guy that you basically had on before, he goes or went by the name of Nicholas Hernandez, which I think pretty much it's all bullshit. It was a made-up name. And the
Okay.
lead developer from Fantasy Gold, who actually started the company, he did all the coding for over 4 years, mind you. He recently, me and Raptai were against it from, instantly, because a lot of people said it was like a money grab, and pretty much that's exactly what it was. So they forked, actually, Nico forked Sushi Swap. He didn't even fork it. He just took the code and then just launched something called, that's basically what it is. So you don't really need a lot of
Wow.
skill set to just take somebody's code and just duplicate it. So long story short, they duplicated Sushi Swap. They called it Bling Swap, and the name was decent, but it's kind of, you can tell it's a little shady, like Bling.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
But
Right.
point being, so the conclusion to all of this is Nico pretty much, they got it on, what is that exchange? Uniswap. So Bling got on Uniswap. It was actually had like a $3 value. And the way decentralized exchanges work is that you need to provide liquidity. You can't just sell for any price. If there's only $10,000, worth of liquidity, that's all you can pretty much get out of it. So
Okay.
Nico stole all of the liquidity, everything that people provided, basically. And without cursing, I don't really want to curse, but it is, late hour. So he fucked everybody, including his team, including people that supported him. A couple of us funded him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Literally paid out of pocket to just support the guy. So he fucked everybody pretty much. So again,
Wow.
it is what it is. That the sad thing is that literally he put his whole credibility on the line, his name, everything that he's been working for over 4 years, mind you. He just destroyed it all over fucking like $5,000.
So
Crazy.
let me ask you about that.
Is this sorry, man.
No,
Is
no.
this really only about 5,000? I mean, is it really worth it?
To be honest with you, before Matt says anything, I just want to answer your question. In my opinion, it's not worth any amount of money to just destroy your name over. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I
Agreed.
doubt that's his real name.
Totally agree.
But
Yeah,
people think
that's a
differently.
doubt. That's a doubt because I can build a reputation about a name which isn't honestly my name. You know what I mean?
Sure, but it's a name you go by in a.
Of course,
So
it's what you're known as.
Yeah,
is
but
freaking
you can build it. You can build another name with clean sheets and everything within, I don't know, a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I do need to
Yeah.
address Cause. Cause was freaking out about this. So we're like strippers essentially, because strippers use stage names. We have stage names online, right? So, but you still have a
Yeah,
career,
makes
and
sense.
you still have.
I only hear
still have-
strippers. I don't hear any. I don't know.
Good,
I
good comparison.
But sorry,
Well,
sorry. I don't want to go from that. So one quick question though, is
Go ahead,
so
go ahead.
yeah, what was it like? Did he just have? I mean, was he blindsided by COVID in some way, where his whole life was tanking
No,
to where this
no,
made
not at
sense?
all. No,
Nothing.
not at all. Actually, I think he was just, you know what it was, truthfully, because I'm sure we all know those type of people in life that kind of pretend to be something they're not, and they're just shady,
Yeah.
disgusting people on the inside. And then sooner or later, that side comes out. So one meeting me and Rab were a part of, he said some fucked up things. He just flipped out, lost his control, and then kind of like backtracked. And then I'm sure he, like, his logic kicked in. He's like, "Oh shit." Like, a different side of me is coming out. Let me
Yeah.
just kind of tame it down a little bit. So then that was a red flag for me personally. I'm like, wait a second, like this is, where's this coming from almost? You know what I'm saying? Like, he comes off as this nice,
Yeah.
intelligent guy, and then bam, you see this side, and you're
Right.
like, wait a second, is this the same person? Because that's what it was. So then that was the first red flag for me. But then, like I said, he pretty much waited for years, without even hesitating, honestly, to just the first chance he got to just screw everybody over, he took it. But again, to do it over 5K, I wouldn't even do it for 500K or 5 million K. I'm just saying that to do it over
I
that,
agree.
it's just crazy to me.
5 million. Let me think about it.
It is a little astounding, right? I mean, because that
No,
was
it's
a long grift for
4
unbelievably
years,
low
over
payout.
4
Yeah.
years. No, it just,
Yeah.
it honestly, I don't think it had anything to do with COVID. I just think this is the kind of person he was, and he tried his best to kind of cover up who he really was. That's my take on it. But like I said, the company is now, we revived it, literally a couple of us. Like I mentioned before, the company's now officially dead. So I just feel bad for the holders and people who've been loyally,
Yeah,
holding
sure.
it for fucking years. But again,
Ugh.
it is what it is. It's just, this is not the
It
first time you
is.
heard a story like this. It truly is.
No, but you hate to hear it, right?
Of course.
So there it is. So the whole project is dead at this point. The FSG.
Yeah, we when I recently brought Raptai onto it, like literally maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and then
Mhm.
the team was very small, but they had no developers. Nico was the only lead developer, which already is a fucking problem. That's
Yeah,
the biggest red
Yeah,
flag.
exactly.
You're putting all
Exactly.
the
That's the problem. We only have one.
So here's why. Again, we're gonna briefly talk about this. I didn't want to talk about this at all, for over 10 minutes. But the point is that he created this bullshit story, which is actually very believable. He's like, listen, I'm from Colombia from day one. So he's like, everybody knows how bad the cartel is here. So I don't want anybody knowing my name. He didn't have a single picture on any account. But if you think about it, that's a believable story for a second. It was believable enough where everybody's like, you know what? It makes sense.
Maybe they took him and for ransom, blah blah blah. Shit can happen,
Most likely not. Most likely not. But the thing is that he made up this bullshit story that people kind of believed. Since he started the company to begin with, nobody really questioned it.
Right.
So nobody really thought that this guy would fuck everybody.
Did I ever mention that I'm from Colombia and I'm really threatened about?
I don't believe you because of your accent. If you had a Spanish accent, perhaps I would believe you. But the fact that you don't, I call bluff here.
Mio, somewhere from somewhere. So please,
you're gonna have to work on your
help me out.
You gotta get some Spanish down. Like I'm saying, and I'm Russian. So
I'm European, so it's more like I am threatened by some Russian mafia stuff or something.
Yes, there we go. And the Russian mafia frightened me as well.
Listen, I'll be honest.
Not me. I'm paying enough, so I'm cool.
I don't know about you fellas. We'll switch topics, but I've been hooked on The Sopranos. I was too young when it came out 20 years ago. I knew it was a brilliant work of art.
Listen, my fellow brother. Yeah, if you really want to fuck up, then you're gonna fuck up. Yeah, I'm gonna cut your tongue out and put it into the poo of your. You know what I mean.
Well, so I think
you gotta throw a forget about it. You gotta.
Yeah, I was gonna say the red flag.
You gotta throw a forget about it.
I haven't seen this side of the devil, and now I question him.
Oh, I thought.
What the fuck? I'm the devil. I am everybody. I'm everybody who's mad or bad.
Yes.
No, okay.
What is it that you love about The Sopranos?
To be honest with you, I grew up on even though like I said, growing up in Brooklyn and all my friends were Italian, so I'm the only Russian Jew that actually has an Italian accent. It's a fact. It's that Brooklyn in you. But no, it's true. They call me but when you grow up on I don't know if you guys love Goodfellas and Casino and all these classics by Scorsese.
Love those.
They're brilliant movies. They're just all based on a true story. So Sopranos is right up there. His role, James Gandolfini's role as Tony Soprano, is unlike anything you'll ever see. These actors sometimes they're so good that they live the role. They don't play it. So I think, like I said, I'm telling you that.
Who told you to play
it? No, me. I'm not playing anything. But all jokes aside, this show is amazing. Go check out the IMDb rating, 9.2 for Sopranos.
You know what?
So
yeah, it's not messing around. I already remember.
Honestly, I couldn't
a lot
finish.
Of people just freaked.
Sorry. Continue.
I was just going to say a lot of people freaked out about the ending, but I'm guessing the end of
so
the series.
I remember the ending. I remember. No, I saw the ending live 20 years ago because I was actually, the funny thing is that it just, the whole screen went black. So people who were watching, I was at my friend's house. I saw episodes here and there. I never thoroughly watched it, but people thought their cable went out or the fucking electricity went out. But no, seriously, because you just get a black screen out of nowhere and people screaming oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Somebody forgot to pay the electricity bill. But the brilliance, because this is not a spoiler, but in one scene where he talks to his, if you remember Goodfellas, I'm sure everybody here must have watched Goodfellas at least once or twice, or 10 times like me. But Lorraine Bracco, who is his wife in Goodfellas, she's the main she's his psychologist. So she's in every single scene. And then they're discussing one scene about death, and he's like, I think I know what it feels like to die. Everything just goes black. So if you put two and two together, that's how it ends at the end.
Got it.
So the final scene is but nobody knows again.
Sense.
You know what I'm saying? It makes all the sense because he goes into the final scene is he's sitting at a diner with his wife, his son, and his daughter, and then all the people he's ever known at different parts of his life are all sitting around him in the diner. So anything could have happened at that point. But so it's an open ending, and then everything goes black. So
which at that
that's pretty
point
much
he got whacked.
But it may be that, maybe not. The writer then spoke out after 20 years and said that he didn't get whacked. He just kind of left it as an open ender for people to kind of yeah. But I promise you, watch 4 or 5 episodes, even 3, and you'll understand that it's an amazing show.
So why do you think people are so fascinated by the mafia? And I'm speaking for myself. I'm totally.
Can I tell you? And I'll answer it really quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's the same thing with Heisenberg. Yeah, it's.
You know what it is? People live vicariously. Heisenberg. People live vicariously through these people. People won't say it how it is. People don't have the balls to do certain things, but they live vicariously through these.
They want to be them.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. That's not logical. Why people infatuated with Scarface and all these type of characters? It makes sense. It's good entertainment, and
maybe,
it's.
Oh, wait a second, Scarface. I always wanted to pop Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Sure.
That's a different story. That's it.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think you have to become a mafioso to do that. But,
Pretty much. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, there are probably better ways to get at Michelle Pfeiffer. As if it's an option, right?
Definitely.
But
it's not. That offer's not on the table.
Even with the "Hey Daddy" call at the behind.
But I was gonna say, for the dude rolling into midnight, drinking, everything's on the table at that point.
At that point, yes. So is your life, apparently, Matt. Your life is also on the line, apparently. So.
Apparently.
Life is on the line probably at 6 or 7 a.m. If you go to a club with shady securities.
Yes, for sure. So it's interesting. I think some of the appeal of mafia as well might be, kind of like, you ever get like, if you're up on a cliff, right? You ever get the feeling like you just want to jump, or that there's a kind of an urge within you to jump, or is that just me?
No, definitely. But my point is that something is stopping you. That fear element that's slightly kind of preventing you from going over the edge. But some people, that's what you clearly see. And strong characters, again, and even they don't have that kind of fear factor. You know what I'm saying? They just, I'm telling you, like they call it, they have balls of steel, to say it in other words. They're not fearful. They're just risk takers, and they're willing to go over the edge. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what fascinates people, to be honest with you.
I bet you're right, because you look at it, you're like, these people have gone over the edge, and they are surviving for a time.
Excuse me. What do you call these people? It's like me. I walk into a bunch. I walk into a bunch of people on the road. Yeah, and I know they're trouble. Yeah, and they hazarding some girl, but even it's their girl. Yeah, and I'm like, hey, fuck ups, what the fuck is up? And I know, okay, it only means trouble, but okay, I might survive.
You might.
You know what it is?
And I did. And the fucking is that? It's about authority. That's the.
You know what I think? Also,
thing.
I think it's Devil. I think it's the alcohol talking. Like that liquid courage kicks in with the blood, with the vodka is going through your blood.
Not now, but back then it was. It was back then. It was.
It helped. That's what I'm saying.
But listen, I got
they
the
don't call it liquid courage.
I got the authority about 4 people, harassing one girl, and I was like, "What the fuck you want?"
See, that's just showing.
And they were like, "What? Why is he alone talking to us like that?" And that's the thing.
So you're chivalrous. I like that.
I agree, but I think if you weren't drunk or slightly intoxicated, you probably wouldn't have the balls if you saw 4 or 5 guys. Unless you do.
I do.
That's a different...
I do. I do, and I did. And that's a funny thing.
I respect people like you.
So sorry. It was 9 a.m. in the morning, in the subway, and I was totally sober or whatever you call it.
Oh, so
And
that's a
there
different
were
story.
What,
I mean,
yeah,
whatever you call it.
there were four people, no, three guys from I think Russia, but I don't know which kind of. But they were wearing uh, actually military clothes, and
Okay.
see, that's
they were
that's
talking.
that's
They wait a second. They were talking to they were hitting actually on some women and that or this and give me some money and blah blah blah, and I was like, uh, when they started to arrest a woman, I was like, hey, stop it. And I was the only one in the subway, and it was full. And I was like, who you are? And I say, I am me. And one guy from the Russian guys, he was a head larger than me. And he was like, you're police? And I said, you decide. And he was like, oh, you police, you police, you police. And they left. And I
listen.
was talking to the guy in front of me of my seat, yeah. And I said, "Do I really look like police?" And he was nodding his head. It was funny.
You know what it was? How I call
Yeah.
it? That was a successful bluff, and said it worked for you.
Yep. I was going
Because
to say,
if
speaking of
they were
successful,
confrontational bluffs,
yeah, I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, speaking of successful bluffs. So, back to VR poker, and thank you for, bringing us current on the FSG. Um, with VR poker, because I was thinking about this last time we talked, I'd never even thought about VR poker. It
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle the facial aspect of VR poker, right? Because poker is such a, it's a game of bluffing, right? And it's a lot of tiny little telltale signals, right, of the person you're playing against or the people you're playing against.
Sure, but see the thing, but this was all factual before people started playing online where you can't see anything. You gotta take that into consideration for a second. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
remember, like I played a lot of poker, so did Rabtide, but like Full Tilt Poker, Poker Stars, like you can't see anything. So you even have
True.
less information to go by because you have no tells, only by what a person's doing.
Okay.
So
Got it.
so the same thing here. But yeah. We got children also a part of
It's
it,
my
a part
son.
of this podcast.
That's
Put him on the line. Put him on the mic.
It's my son watching Coco Melon.
ah.
Put him on too. Tell him. I see we have a lot of listeners here today.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get alcohol in little kids, and it's just like it never ends. They party all night long.
Basically. But to backtrack for just a second, that Poker VR is just one of the many different things that we're actually trying to bring to market. Me and Rabtai, without any
Yeah.
details, I was gonna say we'll do a part 2 to this in the very near
Okay.
future, that we can discuss details. But me and Rabtai are launching our own blockchain, God willingly, within a very short period of time.
Awesome.
And so that's basically the goal. So Poker VR is going to be one platform on it. We're also trying to do something which I'm not going to really talk about on air in details at this point in time, but something
Sure.
real estate related, Matt. This is something that's something you might actually see, the brilliance behind this idea. That a
Mhm.
buddy of mine, long story short, he's been in construction for over 20 years. So he works for himself.
Yeah.
He's been doing this successfully for a while. But the point
Okay.
is that we had this idea, me and him, many years ago. This is one of my dear friends, to do something on the blockchain when I just understood it. And I'm like, you could really revolutionize any industry. So imagine for a second if you could allow people to just simply, first of all, sell property for crypto, which again, nobody's really doing it on like an Airbnb
Okay.
type of scale.
Yeah.
So, and amongst many other things like crowdsourcing, where people could invest literally into real estate. So just like people invest in ICOs, you're literally getting people to invest in a house once it's renovated, as they call it, rehabilitated. Then you pretty
Yeah.
much, if whatever you put in, you get out.
May I interrupt?
Mhm.
That's
Gladly.
that's already online for an Austrian company, and they
They're
split
not big enough to. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. But they split every apartment about thousands or something, and
Mhm.
yeah, and so you got the rent.
No,
Depends
no
on how
rent. No,
much you
no, no
invest.
rent.
No, no,
Sure, sure, sure.
it depends on how much you invest. You get a part of the rent and everything else. And that's what I like about tokens. Even I
Sure.
hate tokens because they run on another blockchain. You know what I mean? And
What
if
do
the
you what do you
blockchain
what do you
suffer,
hate? What do you hate about it?
nah, because
What
if
do
the
you hate
blockchain
exactly?
suffers,
But
the
why does it
token
have to
suffers.
suffer? Well, let me pause you for 1
Yeah,
second, Devil.
Yeah, let's listen to
If you
Eugene here.
fully, no. I'm just making, one
No,
simple point.
the
If you
thing is,
truly,
the thing is for the Austrian company, what I read, I read it yesterday, and it was like every apartment has to run a node, so that's so the node
no.
or the blockchain is
That's
secured.
overly, no. That's overly complicated. First of all,
Yes,
but what I was
yes.
saying is that if you fully understand what blockchain is, it doesn't go south and it doesn't stop working. It's like a live organism. Once you launch it, it will outlive all of us. And Dogecoin is the perfect example. The founder
Yeah,
of
sure,
Dogecoin
Yes.
launched it.
sure.
He sold. Did you hear, guys? Recently, he spoke out. The original founder, creator of Dogecoin,
Yes.
sold all of his coins for a
Yeah,
used
because of
Civic.
a Honda Civic, yeah, the red one. Yeah,
Today,
I know.
he would have had hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
He would have never imagined in his.
I wrote a Medium article today. If you have bought a Toyota RAV4 last year on March 16th, when BTC was the lowest, now you could
Mhm.
have spent this money, this real money, not the BTC money, but converted to BTC, in a I don't know, Lotus 600 LT or something. And even what me scared most was the difference between US price of the RAV4 to the European price, because it was back then it was $33,000, and for Europe it was $55,000.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
as we all
anyway,
know that.
I couldn't have found any price list of cars which were now worth 550,000 euros in in Austria. If I say, okay, I have $500,000, I want to buy a car, and you cannot find online, of course, negotiations at the dealer shop and so on, but you cannot find a price list for $500,000 car.
so we're and that's I don't know anything about online car buying. I did want to circle back to what you were saying there, Eugene. So
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about putting on the blockchain this flipping where you're buying properties, rehabbing them,
Yes,
and selling them. And you're
basically
talking about
straight
essentially,
crowdsourcing. Well,
yep, street crowdsourcing. So you're getting the capital to acquire the project and fund the rehab through the blockchain project.
Yes. So that's what I was gonna say, that if you understand, Devil, that if you peg it to a stable coin, I'm just giving you an example that we're trying to do. There's
Yeah.
no volatility. You're not worried that it's gonna
Yes.
dump tomorrow, whatever the case is. That's why there's a lot of different spectrums when it comes to blockchain and different tokens. There's non-fungible tokens, which is a whole, a horse of another color. So there's a lot of things that people only now don't even understand what blockchain technology as a whole could accomplish or what could it do for businesses and industries. I'll be the first one to say it. I'm sure most of you guys will agree that it could revolutionize, and it will, any industry, because it's more important, in my opinion, than the internet. Because
I just posted the newspaper stuff, but you
Mhm.
have to use a translator, of course.
Sure. Let me ask you this,
So
Eugene. So
go
in
ahead,
this
go ahead.
specific project, because you're right, I'm in real estate. I've flipped
Mhm.
property myself. I've acquired funds to do it
Mhm.
and all that. What's the
Mhm.
advantage to
Mhm.
doing it on the blockchain?
Well, the fact
Scarcity.
that you're giving people, no. Forget scarcity for a second. You're giving people transparency. If you found somebody that's willing to be like, listen, let's go in 50 grand each. You know what I'm saying? We'll buy let's say a place in Pennsylvania, for just as an example. Because I know specific numbers. Some building was sold for like $150,000. A whole building in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Are you
I know
kidding me?
the guys, the company
grand?
No, I'm serious. But no. They
Wow.
they needed a lot of, probably 150 grand worth of rehabilitation is what I'm saying.
Okay.
The building was in fucking bad shape. But the point being, the guy bought it for, let's say, again, without names, 200 grand, put 150 into it, remortgaged it, and got it, you know, it was worth about 750.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So the point is, so it's very, I think the beauty here behind blockchain and doing it is that you're offering transparency. Nobody could fuck anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
It's all done
exactly.
on an that's what I'm saying. It's all done through an algorithm. If you invest through an app, through a wallet, once the sale is confirmed, you get money into your wallet instantly. There's no middleman, and there's no, you know, person, you know, like an error made by a person. The guy got sick, something happened, the guy decided to screw everybody and just disappeared with the money.
Or
Such
he
a thing
wants
would
to
never
take
happen.
a share of it. Or... Exactly.
Or says, listen, I need the money, something happened, I got robbed. You know, the sale was successful, but I came out, somebody put a gun to my head. You see my point? Like, there's so much room for errors, and if you do the same thing on a blockchain, it prevents all of these issues from ever happening.
And
Again, this is just,
that's exactly what this one Austrian company is doing. They split off some apartments, and
let's set that aside for a
ahead.
second, because I did have more questions there. So you know, you acquire the property, and that's going to be through a title company, or maybe in where you are, it's through attorneys. But you close it with the crowdsourced funds. Would they be in the form of a trust deed on the property?
Well, like I said, lawyers have to look into it for it all to be kosher, as they say.
Totally.
So, but this is a must. Also, it depends where what country you do it out of, what state you do it out of. There's a lot of, a lot goes into it to successfully do it. But long story short, I have some very serious people that are interested as coming in as angel investors. So one guy out of Russia, let's say, he's buying property all over the world. The guy's a multi-millionaire. So you get people like that on board that understand the vision, that understand the potential. Mark my words, there will be a company like Airbnb that will eventually do everything through crypto. Yet it hasn't happened. That's why Devil, you mentioned the Austrian company, but they're not on the on the Airbnb scale. I guarantee you they're not even on Binance. So nobody knows about it. And I guarantee you that maybe they're working with crypto, but they're not a blockchain company where the whole thing is done on the blockchain. So
now that's fascinating. So you're talking the records and everything are on the blockchain.
Everything.
Okay,
So
that's
literally
cool.
there's no room no room for no funny business. Everything is transparent, 100%. And the brilliance again here is that you're guaranteeing people, let's say 15% a year. Banks wouldn't even. They offer you zero. You understand what good banks are giving you? Not even 1%. If you could give people a return, and there's no risk here, you don't know when it will sell, but when it sells 100%, you're guaranteed profit. So overall, like I'm saying, is there's a lot of people interested who would gladly invest 100 grand, 200, 300 grand for 15% per year. That's a lot of money. So and here again, there's no risk involved because it will sell. It's a matter of time. So
and your exposure is part of the property, and so as long as you have value in the property, your investment's secure.
That's exactly it. And if you know people, like I said, a buddy of mine has been doing construction for 15 years for himself. So if you know people directly, you don't have to hire people to do it. You know people yourself that could actually do the job. And my friend Max could do it all. He does the floor, he does the electric part, he everything. He literally we used to work, me and him, years ago, do everything himself.
And the problem is, Matthew, say bye-bye to your job.
No. Not necessarily.
I was going to say,
like I said,
not really.
No,
I'm thinking of bringing
it's just shifting. It's just shifting. That's the only thing.
No. You know what it is? I'm sure you guys will agree. Adopting is very hard for certain people. Some people can understand certain trends before it happens. The whole world is sleeping right now as we speak because 1% of regular people actually understand what Bitcoin is. Even most people don't even understand what blockchain is or how it works. So the
Yeah,
same thing as it
I
was with
always sound record for my people. It's about explaining about Bitcoin and the blockchain, and after 30 minutes, they ask me, "Yeah, okay, and now I got Bitcoin, but what is the blockchain?" It's
that's
so
Yes,
no, but that's
that
what
is
I'm
the
saying.
point.
That most
That
people they don't understand the brilliance behind blockchain, what it offers, mainly no middlemen. It removes middlemen from any situation. And it makes something 100% transparent. That's why I had this whole poker idea before I even fell in love with
the
blockchain
the
years ago.
the only danger I see in
Hmm.
all this new, let's say, new stuff like DeFi or something, is that it is running on an actual blockchain, because it's not a blockchain itself. It's a token actually, and like Ether, the gas price then totally roses. So of course, because it's got used. So that's the only thing I see as a little bit of a difficulty.
You know what somebody said recently, which I can't agree more, that the high gas fees for Ethereum only affect people who are poor pretty much. If you think about it, it's true.
huh?
Yeah,
People who
sure.
have a lot of money and have a lot of Ethereum from years ago, they don't give a shit about the gas fees. It's people like you and me
Yeah,
that care about the gas fees. So
it's the same like now the UK split from the European Union, and sorry, I was reading what's under this.
So let me
No, sorry,
hold that
sorry.
thought. So
The
hold that thought for a
UK.
second, because hey, I wanted to ask Eugene this question. We've got him for a short
Okay.
period of time. So you're
go
talking
ahead.
about bringing transparency to the poker VR poker world. That's interesting.
Fully. So let me tell you
What?
again. If you,
Yeah, I was just
Mhm.
going to say that that's an odd juxtaposition because poker's a game about
No,
not being transparent, right?
basically, but I'm talking about the technology. If you've ever played
Yes.
online poker, every single site has a thing called a random card generator, right? Supposedly,
Yes.
by math, it's supposed to be random. And I've played thousands and thousands of hours of poker, and sometimes miracle cards come out that are improbable. Statistically, if you run the fucking deck 20, 30, 40 times, you know what I'm saying? If there's two
Yeah.
sevens in the deck and a seven has to hit, the chances are astronomical. And when you see these miracle cards hit all the fucking time, you start understanding that the software, the algorithm is designed to benefit certain players. And this is
I see.
100% fact. So I called
Mhm.
out a poker player, a professional poker player, many, many months ago, and I called him out on Twitter that there's a site called America's Card Room. It's actually a European company, and they're I don't know how they're doing
Okay.
it, but they've been doing it for years. So
Wow.
and
Okay.
when you watch these tournaments, these professional poker players they just randomly hit these miracle cards randomly. Of course, they're sponsored by the
Interesting.
company, and you know what I'm saying. But you see my point. This is again
Yes. Yes.
when you put in maybe 50, 60,000 fucking hours like I've had over the years. I put in crazy amount of hours.
Right.
You see shit that you start thinking like, is this really truly random? Because it doesn't seem that way. So what blockchain
Mhm.
allows is for the random card generator to truly be random based on math. You know what I'm saying? Something that other
Yeah.
companies can't offer you the same thing. So
Yeah, well,
this is again going back
I
to
like that.
transparency, man.
if I go back to my basic knowledge, basic knowledge is like our random is random. It takes the hour, the
No, no,
CQ number, and
but
something else.
I disagree. So look, the same thing as slot
Yes.
machines. There's a program in a slot machine.
Correct.
Technically, it's random, but it's not random. It's proven that once the machine takes about 90% from everybody around, then it starts paying
Uh,
out. So
mm,
it's supposed to be random, but it's built on algorithms that do their job
yeah.
first, and then they start paying out. Same thing again when it comes to online poker. So if you build it on a blockchain, and again, I want to implement things that like literally that no other company will ever do,
Yeah.
but literally where people
Totally.
could learn as well. Imagine if you could hire a professional poker player for a certain coin, you know what I'm saying? And you could have
Uh-huh.
a virtual reality tutor you. So you could literally improve your game simply by, you know what I'm saying? Through
I have
That's an
one
interesting
of
idea.
these people
So,
in my friendships.
uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, I
So,
know
but
I know a
you know,
bunch of
that's
poker
lucky
players who
you.
get it.
I don't, right? So you're saying someone like me could participate in your coin with the VR poker.
Don't
And
do
there's a
it.
professional.
Don't
There's a
do
professional.
it.
There's a professional associated with your coin,
No, I'm
and it's
saying I'm
part of.
saying just yeah, yeah. I'm
Please.
saying in theory, yeah, yeah. In theory, you can implement things that no other company has ever done. Is what I'm saying. You could also
Got it.
originally what I was thinking is making a wager. Again, I don't want to talk only about poker, but in the poker world, amongst professional, they call it selling action. Say there's a World
Okay.
Series of Poker tournament for $10,000, they could sell
Okay.
action. They could say, I'm selling 5,000% of me, 50% of the buy-in, which is 10 grand. If I
Okay.
win anything, 50% of it is yours. So this has been happening throughout
Oh,
all of poker. People, so this
totally.
is legal. So my
Yeah, yeah.
point is, nobody does this on the internet. This is unheard of. It's for many different reasons. Again, with blockchain technology, you could do such a thing. So you could literally, people are
That is
investing in
cool.
you. So you see my point. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
esports gaming. There's people who are the better players, like Ninja. Like there's professional gamers that are better than
Yeah,
everybody else. If you could, go ahead, Devil.
yeah. It's like on Robinhood or somewhere else. You follow the trades of somebody else, so you can gain of
A
these
little
trades.
different.
Yeah. What you're
Slightly
talking about.
different. Here, you're wagering on the best players in the game. You could make where it's
Yes.
not even, there's less risk now because these people are professionals. So imagine if you could make a wager. If you're not a good poker player, but you want to make a wager, and you see that, let's say it's the final table of a huge tournament, and one of the best poker players in the world is in that fucking final table. I guarantee you, he'll make a top three. You know what I'm saying? Performance, unless he gets screwed. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody hits like a miracle card, because these people are
Right.
no,
Right.
but it's possible. But I'm saying professionalism, which very
But
few
it's
people
still
understand in
gaming.
poker.
It is still gaming.
No.
It
It's a
is
skill
gaming.
game. It's a skill. It's
That's
a
correct.
skill. It's gambling. It has an
That's
element of
correct.
gambling. It's a skillful game, and there's professionals that make money every single year, and they pay taxes on it. So, like I
Sure.
said, I
So
people assume. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, so you've seen the movie The Hustler, right? This is an old 60s movie.
I haven't actually. I heard about it.
Okay. So it's about a bunch of professional pool players.
Youngster.
And these
Mhm.
professional pool players, they have backers. So let's say I'm awesome at pool,
Sure.
I can win a ton of money at it. You as a backer, you come to me and
Mhm.
you're like, look, I'm going to give you 10 grand, right? We're going to make 20, you're going to give me 50%. So you're
Mhm.
talking about some of these great players. As a spectator, you can maybe invest in them. You get a piece of their
Pretty
action. Is
basic.
that what you're saying?
That's exactly that's exactly what I'm saying. So
Okay,
a little.
that's cool.
I'll give you one. So I'll give you one little short story. There was this professional poker player. I
Yes.
forgot the guy's first name. Something Newhouse. So I used to watch the World Series of Poker every year religiously. Long story short,
Okay.
this one guy. Everybody knows who Dan Bilzerian is, correct? I'm assuming.
I don't, but tell us, who is he?
The player. Yeah.
No. He's like a playboy type. He's always, you see him with like a beard. He's surrounded by women, maybe 20, 30 women at a time. No, nothing less, by the way. So
Like Hugh
minimum
Hefner.
20 women. Pretty much. The point is, but he came off as like, I'm a professional poker player. That's bullshit. He just has millions. He plays a short little game, and when he wins, yes, he's winning millions because he's fucking bought in for 3-4 million. So he's far from a professional poker player. But what I'm trying to say is that this guy basically found some kid. It wasn't Newhouse. It was actually a different guy. But he's like, listen, I'll buy you into the World Series of Poker. Sell me 50-60% of your action. He's like,
Okay.
like you were saying, I'll fund you. Miraculously, this fucking guy finished second in the World Series of Poker.
Oh wow.
Could you imagine the chances? Half of that money, original investment, 10 grand, the guy won either 3 or 4 million, actually more. It was probably 5. So $2.5 million
Wow.
on an investment of 5K went to Dan Bilzerian because he funded him basically.
Yeah,
So that's exactly what I'm saying.
VR poker is kind of like in the world of, like, say, any sort of sports, like, say, auto racing. These corporations come in and they sponsor the car, right? So they're paying for things, but they get a
Exactly.
piece of the winnings. But now,
Exactly.
if I'm an amazing poker player, I can get people to sponsor me and they get a piece of my action. But that's what they're betting on.
And
Not
that
that's cool.
100%. And I'm
And
just
because
saying,
of the
this has already
blockchain,
been, yes.
it's transparent.
you know that the guy's not gonna fuck you. He could win the tournament and say fuck off. I'm
Yes.
not giving you nothing. You can't prove it. Here again, you can't get screwed. This is why I keep saying blockchain technology. You could do things that no other technology could even offer you. You
I love
100%
that.
guarantee that. I'm just saying I had this idea for many years ago before blockchain, and then to create a virtual reality game where we could just play cards. And then once I fell in love with blockchain, I was like, holy shit! If you merge these two and you do it successfully, and you have the right people on board, this could be massive. Because the conclusion is there's been no innovation when it comes to poker online. Zero innovation.
Well,
And it's
what's
pretty much the
awesome
same
about
fucking.
that- Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead. Keep going. The same fucking.
No, I was. No, it's the same fucking basically same thing, just duplicated. Every single site that allows you to play cards, it does the same thing over and over and over again. So what I'm saying is there's
Because
no
the
innovation.
other
Mhm.
none, and the other side of this is if I'm a young poker player and I'm pretty good, I can go into your, maybe it's a casino, maybe it's like a poker house or whatever you're calling it. I go in there,
Mhm.
I show people some of my, like, hey, I'm decent.
Credentials. This is I don't want to
And
get into. I don't want to discuss way too many details, but you show
no,
people
no,
stats, statistics. This is what you get
because
people.
it's on
People
the
like, oh
blockchain,
shit, yes, you could actually store your statistics. And people like, listen, the last 5
dude.
tournaments I played, I won 3 tournaments, and people like, oh shit, this guy is good. So you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like I said,
fucking
I want to.
huge.
I'm telling you. So the thing
Okay,
is
I'm
that
with you. See,
that's
if
why.
I were to bet on action right now, I'd bet on your action because you're right.
Listen,
It opens up a space for someone with no money but good skill to come in and rise
that's
based on merit alone.
exactly what I'm saying. That's
That's
exactly what
pretty
I'm
cool.
saying. And the
Dude.
company could fund you. They could offer free rolls. That I have a lot of ideas when it comes to this. We're just trying to get it all on paper now. Like I said,
and as a devil, I can tell you, what with me as a devil, as the devil, that's the proper thing to lure some people in.
lure is a bad word here. Nobody's trying to lure anybody into anything. So I disagree a little bit. When you lure somebody, it's like luring children into a van because you got candy. You see what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah, exactly.
the wrong terminology, devil. I gotta call you out. It's the wrong terminology, bro. Nobody's luring anybody, but you're literally showcasing what you're good at. Why did esports explode in the last, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
Dude,
Because we grew up.
if GT Sports from the PlayStation went into crypto, yeah, we could have made tons of
Yes.
money.
So let me tell you something. The first game, the first big game that will run on the blockchain, not fully because you can't run amazing graphics like even a Fortnite type game. You can't build it on the blockchain.
No, it's just
for
a
a lot of
pay.
different reasons.
It's just a
It's just
payment system.
There's more to it. It's actually even the infrastructure.
Yes.
But let's say you build the game off chain,
Sure.
but allows people to win money directly. Or imagine if you could play a Mario Kart game on your phone right now as an app or DApp that allows you to win money or any crypto. Do you understand the demand
Yes.
there that we're talking about for a second?
Of course,
People
Here's the
do
of
it.
course,
thing.
but
Hold on, hold
I
on.
don't
Let me tell you
understand.
something. Why
Rap.
why
Hello, Rap.
why ring was
Go ahead.
needed? The whole point of having ring is create a play like a proof of play and let other games integrate that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so you can literally have a
Yeah, but the
game
fucking thing
not
was
not
with
running on a
Oh,
here's the thing, not running on a blockchain. Actually, the economy, game economy will be run on a blockchain. Not, I mean, like Eugene said, there's no way to run the whole game on blockchain, but at least the game economy can run on the game, I mean, on a
yes.
blockchain. So everything will be transparent, everything will be on the
Exactly.
blockchain.
it's
That
not
piece
about
I
the
didn't get
it's
until
not
you said
about the
that,
game.
Eugene. So
It's
hold
not
on,
about the
Devil.
game
Hold on a
itself
second.
because
Yeah, hold on a second. So what I wanted to say, the piece that I think Eugene, I mean, that's a brilliant insight, is you remove the bullshit from these competitive events where people
That's
raid
exactly what I'm saying.
and your
Yes.
stats travel with you. They are a part of you, and
Yes.
you rise and fall with
That's
merit.
exactly.
That's huge.
There's a look. Check this out. There's a site called SharkScope. I forgot .com. I think SharkScope.com. So it keeps track of all the tournaments you play online. But again, they steal this information pretty much. They force you to pay a monthly fee in order to even see your fucking stats. These stats are yours. You know what I'm saying? So this is my point. That these companies are driven by greed. You can see a couple, like 3-4 searches for free a day, but your own stats don't even belong to you. You see what I'm saying? If you're entitled to, these are your stats. These belong to you. And then these companies prevent people from fucking owning what belongs to you.
Yeah, no,
So if
the fuck
That's
is
pretty
that?
cool, man.
The on blockchain games are boring actually, because you're actually mining with your browser or something. But keeping your stats, but keeping your stats like Gran Turismo stuff or my whatever it or even your skills at Worldcraft or whatever. It's like they couldn't drag this out of the PlayStation, for example.
Yes. It has no real world value, is what it is. But imagine if you could, what you have, like you just said, skills. If you put in thousands of hours and you become better than everybody else, this is what esports now allows.
I am at ranking 250 something at the moment at World Rally Racing for at dirt, but nobody pays me anything.
I was just about to say, do you get paid for it? Can you get paid for it? Nope. See, that's exactly my point. If we allow people to play games and get paid for it, the demand will be through the roof.
Yeah, it would.
Oops. Yeah. Well, I apologize that you broke up a little bit. Did you ask a question?
No. That was it. I was just going to say that's an absolutely powerful idea. So we'll absolutely have to do a part 2.
No, we will definitely do a part 2. But the point that I'm trying to make is that it will all run on our own blockchain. That we're looking for developers, including C++, Rust. There's also a language that's widely used. So if anybody's interested to join a team, like I said, they know Rabtai for, I'm sure, as a very knowledgeable, very just honest person. So we're looking to expand, and that's basically the goal. But once the blockchain is operational and everything is working the way it's supposed to, then we will. The goal is to do an IEO for you know what IEO is, right, Matt? Initial exchange offering.
Okay.
So,
how does that work?
So it's easier. So ICO, you know what ICO is?
It depends on the country.
No, it's the same concept everywhere. So since 2017, everybody was doing ICOs, initial coin offering. You put up a bullshit website, you put up some white paper, say send us your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, we'll give you some shit coin. This is how. No, this is how.
I really tried to pages of the European Communion about blah 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 cryptocurrencies and legible. I stopped. It's like, maybe tomorrow it changes.
So
point. Yeah. Yeah.
Keep going.
So point being that ICOs, most of the world already understands, or at least heard the terminology, initial coin offering. So many companies were scams. So many people got screwed out of money that they had to evolve. They just recently. So the new thing formed relatively, maybe within a couple of years ago. If you ever used Binance, or actually understand they have a launch pad. They launch companies, but they thoroughly research these companies. So
didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, because like I said, I'm in crypto, I trade crypto. So what I'm saying is that every single company that went through Binance originally, they're all humongous companies now. Most of them are valued at $5, $3, $2. They're huge companies because they used Binance. So what I'm saying is initial exchange offering. You're raising funds, but through an exchange. You know what I'm saying? Which takes away the shadiness.
Yes.
If it's a credible exchange, people will trust it. That's what I'm saying. So I've been talking to this exchange before for a while. Probit, they're like a top 10 tier exchange. They're actually pricey as hell, just like most good exchanges.
Yeah.
But I want to do a IEO for Poker VR within, God willingly, maybe 2-3 months. and amongst other things. But that's what I'm saying. It's a much better way to raise money. It's a safer way to raise money. If you peg it to a real exchange, people are not scared that they're going to lose their money.
Exactly. It's something legitimate. The imprimatur, right, of a legitimate company
Exactly.
like Binance is huge.
Exactly. But we did the research. You know how much it is to list your company through Binance? Millions. I'm talking
I
about
was gonna
$3 to
say,
$5 million. No,
wow,
that's the
Yeah,
bare minimum.
wow.
Eugene,
That's yeah,
Eugene,
that's serious.
Eugene,
Yes, yes.
Eugene.
Talk to me.
If you if you find a possibility to fund racers on the PlayStation, just give
We can
me
build.
a DM.
Why can't we build? Why can't we build our own games? Why do you have to focus on PlayStation? I'm all about
No,
changing.
because the games because the games are massively distributed. You don't have to build your own game. You just have
I mean,
to like kind of betting on. Because the last time I was we talked, it was betting takes a few days or something, and that's not good because the races are within 30 minutes or something like that.
it's just
Well,
it's
right.
hard because I don't think PlayStation is not going to come on board anytime soon and say let's do everything with crypto. They're all watching. The
Yeah.
behemoths and the
Yeah.
conglomerates. They're watching.
Yes.
But it's going to be a while until big companies come on board. But again, when you see Elon Musk talk about Tesla just bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin,
Yes.
what do you think all the companies are now doing? Like, holy shit, if they're doing it, we got to start doing it. So why do you think, guys, randomly Bitcoin's price today is fucking pumping? It was 50K a couple of days ago. It pushed to 55, almost maybe 56 today because hedge funds are here. Institutional money is here.
No.
Now they're
It's
investing
because
hundreds.
today
No.
it's
Third
okay,
year
continue.
anniversary of no. I was gonna say you're gonna say third year anniversary of Litecoin Cash. That's why Bitcoin is pumping.
Of course,
Agreed. It's
because
making a huge difference.
every altcoin, every shitcoin is connected to Bitcoin.
No, but
It's you.
I'm just saying that these coins don't matter. If it wasn't for Bitcoin, there would be no other coin. Bitcoin is the
Of
only
course,
original idea.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's
The
what I'm
OG
saying. But
coin.
There would be
it is.
different points, but we won't have a value at all.
Nobody knows what we would have if Satoshi Nakamoto, which I don't even think it was one person. I think it was a group of brilliant
No,
coders.
That makes sense.
it wasn't Bitcoin that was the first cryptocurrency.
It was the most
Previous,
successful. It was the
it
one.
was the
I
most
know about
successful.
everything.
Yeah.
It was something they implemented stuff and made it work. The other companies that tried
Yes,
to do the
correct.
same thing, they were not successful. That's the point. This
Yep.
guy
That
thought
is
of
the difference.
I don't think it was one guy, but
Agreed.
I think whoever created it, they thought of everything. They literally improved on money as a whole. This is why today or yesterday, Bitcoin in itself is now $1 trillion asset. Let that sink in for a second. From an idea, from just a
Wow.
white paper to
Wow.
$1 trillion asset. That in itself is
Wow.
fucking amazing.
It really is. I mean, this is an
And again,
actual asset that was created
that's
out
what
of digital air.
that's exactly. But people understood again what cryptography is. Very few people. Most
And
people don't even know
imagine
what.
how
Hmm?
all the money banks or something told us Bitcoin is dead.
No, but I always knew they had an agenda. When the guy was named
Yes.
Jamie
Yes.
Dimon spoke, again, I do my
Yes.
research in and out, but when he said fucking Bitcoin is garbage, I knew he had an agenda. And again,
Yeah, and
push come to shove, years
they
pass
bought
by.
heavily.
No. Forget them buying. JP Morgan now has their own coin called JPM coin. They
Exactly.
use
Totally.
that's what I'm trying to that's I know these
Yes.
details again. So they tried to badmouth Bitcoin just to launch their own fucking centralized garbage coin. But again, it's not why it's
Exactly.
not for the people, it's to send big transactions basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the fucking thing I want to add that all we're gonna make a euro on the blockchain and blah blah blah. It's nothing. It's just a way to control people. That's the problem.
It's a centralized exactly, but mark my words, China will be the first country that creates let's not call it cryptocurrency, a digital currency. They're already testing it as we speak. They will be the very first country that does this, and they will do
Their
it
own
successfully.
cryptocurrency as their
Yes,
country.
fully, because they understand the evolution of money. We're living in a digital era. Think about it again.
Yes.
These are simple statistics. Most people, when they buy something in a store, they use a credit card. What kind of money are you using? Digital money. That's exactly what
Yes,
you're doing.
correct.
You don't have this money.
Yes.
The bank okays this. You see what I'm saying? So people
Yes,
have
yes,
already been
exactly.
using digital money for over 10 years. And statistically, most people use credit cards or debit cards. You're not using physical cash. So we're already there.
Correct.
It's
That's
just a
exactly
matter of
right.
time until that's exactly what it is. So the first
And
country that
really,
says, you know what? Mhm.
I was going to say, the countries back their currency with their might, right? Their army, in many ways. This is a currency
That's
that's separate from a country.
so that's
Y-
exactly what it is. So
I,
the
I,
fact
I
that
don't need to. I don't need to add anything on my trail because we already paying digital. If you pay with a bank card, if you pay with a credit card, we pay with everything. But the fucking thing is, if the government decides to reduce the amount of money you can spend or reduce your amount you have on your bank account, that's the fucking
that's
thing
why
about being digital.
that's that's why most people who have a lot of money, they do not keep money in their banks. This is a
Yes, that's
fact.
exactly right. That's exactly
Somebody
right.
Yep.
somebody like CZ. Go ahead, Devil. What are you gonna say?
No, that's good. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say somebody like CZ who
Totally
managed to
agree. I
create.
totally agree. I totally.
People have hundreds of millions of dollars that are in the crypto space. You think they're gonna keep their money in the bank? Never.
It's
They're
yeah,
gonna keep
not
it in.
earning
They're
like
gonna
zero
keep it in.
percent.
Get the fuck out of here. They're gonna keep it in valuable assets that will
Yes,
guarantee them 5%, 6%. They're putting their money that they already have that's already scarce and they're putting it to work. What do you do in a
yes,
bank? You give your money and they fucking take your money and invest it in God knows what.
exactly.
Dude, I
They're
transferred.
the original.
I
Banks are the
transferred
original
some.
crowdsourcers.
Yeah, but listen, I transferred some K to Binance because they give me for the euro, and I keep it as a euro account there,
Mhm.
3.2%, where I get here in Austria 0.1.
That's exactly Eugene's point.
That's exactly my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Thank you, Eugene.
I told you, I totally agree.
I'll give you a better analogy. I'm sure maybe you guys don't know, but the Winklevoss twins were
Yes,
originally behind Facebook. Mark
correct.
Zuckerberg fucked them
Yeah,
royally.
yeah.
Yes.
They ended up getting no.
Everybody
It's a
seen
fact.
the movie.
It's a
But
great movie. No, it's a
it is.
it's a
Keep
great movie. It's
talking.
not just a movie.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the Winklevoss twins at that time they got 150 mil each after the lawsuit. What they did
Mhm.
was the brilliant part. They invested all of it into Bitcoin when fucking Bitcoin was maybe a couple of $100 each at
Yeah,
that time.
the fuck was
They
that?
Did
They
they really?
had so much,
no.
didn't even
Imagine
Please
care
finish.
how
understanding.
Please
much they
finish.
get off the lawsuit.
No. Devil, that's not the point. It's not about how it's your belief in something is so on point that you don't even see it as a risk. You're literally looking into the future. That's my
Yes.
point. They invested all of their money
It's
without
like
hesitating.
it's like the series Billions, where the
No, I
one
love
guy
that show, by the way.
gives a
Devil.
gives the other guy a USB stick.
Axelrod. The guy's
Yeah,
a fucking
Axelrod,
genius.
exactly, and he gives the other guys yeah, here you have 100 or 1,000. But
No,
back in the
that's one of the
days,
best
it
shows.
was not many, but now it's huge.
Let's backtrack for 1 second. By the way, I'm not being paid by Billions, but Billions is actually the same guy that made Rounders. If anybody remembers the poker movie with Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Malkovich,
Oh yeah,
Rounders, which was
totally.
one of the
From the 90s.
so the same one of the best movies, poker movies, period. Just a brilliant movie altogether. The same writer is behind Billions. I don't know if Devil even knew
Mm.
that.
Nah,
Didn't know
Same
that.
Billions,
guy.
I laugh because he's wearing my
I'm
t-shirt.
waiting for it to come back, Devil. I'm waiting for it to come back. No, he was wearing Metallica T-shirts at a fucking meeting. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I grew up on
Exactly.
Metallica. So let's
Exactly.
backtrack for just real quick.
Look at my Twitter thing. I'm a business punk, and I went definitely with
So
like Metallica T-shirt to
I
some negotiations about some 1 million euro deal, and they were
Okay.
like, "What the fuck
So
he is?" And
yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you want to do business or you want to look at me?"
okay.
So let's
So I've
backtrack. Let's
got
put
to
music
run.
aside.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you'll finish what you were saying, Eugene, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yes. Backtrack for just 1 second. Conclusion to all of this about interest and Gemini is an exchange that the Winklevoss twins are behind.
Yes.
They're the first
Correct.
exchange that got the bit license in New York. In New York, it's harder to get your, you know what I'm saying, to operate in this field. They did
I
this.
didn't know that.
And what I'm trying to say is that, yes. So recently, again, this is a credible exchange, but you buy everything with dollars. The point of what I'm trying to say is that they pay you 3% on Bitcoin. They pay you 7.5% on Filecoin. Filecoin is a very serious
Yes.
company. It's the coin now is about $45 a pop, but they're paying 7.5% annually. Do you understand the money that we're talking about here for a second? If you keep a fucking $1 million and
It's
you're getting
huge.
7.5%,
That's
so
huge.
that's what I'm trying to say is that the banks.
Yeah, the funny thing is every time I read some stuff from like 2019 or something, it's like, yeah, and this coin, it's just this and that, and then you look at Google or at whatever the charts, what it is now, like Steam. It's like Steam, yeah, it's a funny coin, but look at it now. It's amazing.
You talking about Dogecoin?
No, like Steam or something. It doesn't matter. It's like if you got some coins back in the days, like I don't know, 2010, 2020 or something. If you just hold on it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
No, that's exactly my point.
You haven't. It's probably you haven't lost. Exactly.
People made life-changing money simply by holding. That's exactly what it is.
Yes. Thank
But
you,
Matt, before we
Eugene,
go,
for your time.
of course,
Yes, please.
Before we wrap it up, because me and Rab talked about it, but I heard you were interested in doing a clubhouse, perhaps.
Yes,
So
very.
launch. So yeah. So count me in 100%. Me and Rab already talked about it today. We could do it on Fridays, even like late night crypto. We could invite people. We could interview people in the crypto space, and I just want to let you know that I'm all for it 100%. Let's do it right away.
Right on.
Let's create an awesome fucking crypto channel, and let's
Rock and roll.
Sounds
let's
great.
rock and
Thank
roll.
you so much. Appreciate your time.
Definitely.
This was awesome.
Of course.
Thanks, Devil.
Thank you.
Have a great night,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Rab. Thank
Yes.
you,
If you guys,
You gotta
one
play a
more thing,
Metallica song, Devil.
One,
Play a
hey, one more
Metallica song
thing.
for me.
One more thing before
One
you
more
go.
thing, Rab.
So if you need a invite for Clubhouse, let me know. I have 5 invites left.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Just direct message you.
Yep.
Devil,
right
close
now
us with a
they only
Metallica
have
song.
in iPhone and iPad.
damn,
but
you cut me
yeah.
off short. I mean, dude.
Master of Puppets, please.
Yeah, that's a
Master
good
of
one.
Puppets. Okay.
Master of Puppets. Very well chosen.
Please. We will talk soon, fellas. We'll have a part 2 to this.
There you go. Thanks so much, Eugene. Hang in there, man.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
All the best to you. All the best to you.
Thank you. We'll talk soon. Definitely.
See ya. Have a good night.
Have
too,
a,
you too.
Guys, good night.
Have a good night. Have a good morning.